Hold down out of the door and transition to angle down right to lift up the rock. After lifting up the rock, dash right, but slightly nudge the top rock. This will put Link in a position flush with the left wall after leaping off the ledge. Dash down after landing, then choose one of 4 different dash strats that you can do. Cactus Dash is the fastest strat, but very risky as it's a pixel-perfect dash. The second strat is known as the Sandman Dash. You want to cancel your dash with a right input once you are below the last set of bones on the right, and then slash your sword to the right, and as you hold B from that slash, begin to dash right, which will hit the enemy out of your way. The third strat is to lift up the top right rock, dash off of the edge, and then align Link with the mountain on the right side. Dash down until you get to the eye visual cue of the octopus looking thing in the sand, and then dash right. The last strat shown you can actually see in the comparison video, which is on the bottom left. It's actually pretty similar to the third strat that was shown, but this one you actually dash a little bit lower to where Link is lined up with the first cactus on the left, and then you can just dash straight right. Walk right until the mountain slopes, and then start your dash, and then turn up. Cancel your dash right just above the sloped mountain on your right, but also below the mountain with the bird on it, and then dash right. Continue your dash right until you clear the first light rock, and walk a few steps down until the mountain slopes to the right, and then start your dash and then turn right. Walk a few steps to the right until the mountain slopes down and to the right, and then start your dash and turn down. Stop your dash when Link is lined up with the bottom of the tall grass line, and then dash right. This will put you directly below the statues and give Link a clean dash. Hold angle up right until you reach the first part of the ledge, and then hold right against the ledge and tap A to do a quick hop. You can go down a few steps, start your dash, and turn right. This can be a little risky due to the crab RNG ahead of you, where the crab can just come down and knock you out of your dash. The safer movement is to hold angle down right after landing off of the ledge, and then line Link up with the bottom part of the mountain on your right. If you did the risky strat on the previous screen, you must walk down until Link is perfectly lined up with the mountain shadow, and then dash turn right. It's important that you are not higher due to enemies getting in your way, or lower due to a possible pixel boost from the slope dash. It's very important to be flush with the wall in order to properly execute the fake flipper setup that is coming up soon. Continue to dash right, and if no enemies get in Link's way, stop your dash with a left input about 2 tiles away from the bush at the end of the screen. Walk right, press against the bush, and then slash it, and then during the slashing animation, begin to hold angle upright until you hit the ledge, and then tap A to quick hop. As Link is in the air, hold right to transition the screen 1 frame after he hits the water. The setup can be done a little bit faster by dropping Link's sword a few frames after slashing the bush, and then side hopping off the ledge and then holding right to transition. During bad enemy RNG, if the first pickle goes down, you will need to readjust your movement a little bit more down and then redash. If you need to avoid the first pickle, be sure to move all the way down against the cliff before starting your dash. Otherwise, you may not be lined up properly for the fake flipper setup. And if the second pickle ends up going down, you can either choose to arrow it and then continue to dash right toward the bush, or you can just go up and around it. When swimming, make sure to mash the A and B buttons. It's going to be a little bit faster, and as you gain momentum, it can be a little bit difficult to swim straight, especially if you start swimming diagonally. With water momentum, you need to anticipate the movement changes earlier than normal. Make sure to get into the warp as soon as possible, because if Link is hit, you will be stuck in an infinite soft lock. Hold angle up left out of the portal while mashing A and B. Make sure to straighten Link out a little earlier than normal due to momentum. Once you are on the ladder, move up while double pumping left and right to speed up Link's movement. And after Link is off of the ladder, hold angle up left until you're aligned with the tree on the left, and then move up to the next screen. Start your dash up and react quickly to the pickle RNG ahead of you, and then decide if you need to go above him or below him. You can arrow the pickle on the ledge to the right and then dash right to make the screen a little bit faster. But if you are short on arrows, you want to dash right when Link is above the sign. Lift up the rock and then snap into the door. Dash up off of the ledge and then hold angle upright as you land. And then dash up again until you reach the path to the right. The reason why I like to do the angle upright input after landing here is it gets you closer aligned to the right wall, which makes the dash cancel and then dashing to the right a little bit easier for you without nudging. Dash right all the way to the end of the wall and then cancel with an angle down right input. Move below the wall and dash right. Then you want to cancel with up to walk up to the next path. When you're in between that small narrow pathway, you want to make sure that you're double pumping left and right as you're moving upward. Turning right, going toward the old man, make sure you are centered with the door. The old man here on this screen only has one text box, so you can mash with L and R and then enter the door. One thing to note here in the cave as well, you can also mash the last text boxes here with the X button, because since you are in a cave, you are unable to map. Hold right through the door into an angle down right input until the next text appears. There are 4 total text boxes, so mash all 4 face buttons for the first 3, and then cancel the last one with LNR or LR and X as well. If you walk on the edge of the pit, Link will regain his normal walking speed with the old man. Follow the path up, but make sure not to drag against the slope going up and to the right. Move right to the end of the path, and at this part there are 3 text boxes. Use the same buttons as before to mash, and then cancel the last text box as you did before. Hug the left side of the wall while you move down, and the bats will not be able to hit you. Make sure that you exit the cave door cleanly. Move down to exit the door and immediately transition to an angle down right input. Just make sure that you are aware of the dead rock movement, as you may need to adjust a little bit to make sure not to get hit. Keep in mind that dead rocks can only move cardinally. Holding Link's sword out here is a great safety from the dead rocks, because your movement speed will be the same because you're walking with the old man. Once you get to the door, mash all 4 face buttons through the text. Dash right until you are aligned with the first part of the ladder, and slash your sword at the bottom to get ready to do the spin speed tech. As Link is moving up, double pump left and right, and as you reach the top, Link's sword will be charged and ready for the spin speed. Making your way up the path in the super speed state, it can be tough due to the dead rock movement as well as the falling boulders, so make sure that you adjust your movement as needed. With bad RNG shown, the first dead rock can get into your way as you move up, but with a well-timed menu buffer directly under him, you are able to hold up and right out of the menu to pass him. Once you clear the mountain and it begins to slope up, hold angle up left. But one thing to note, make sure that you are careful not to hold this angle up left input early, right at the start of that slope, because you can get stuck there. Once you begin to climb the second ladder, make sure to double pump left and right all the way to the top. There's a great comparison video shown here. The left one is double pumping the entire ladder moving up, and the right one is just walking up the ladder, and you can really see the time difference between the two. When there are 2 stairs left at the top, turn Link to the right and hold angle upright. This will bring you off of the ladder cleanly, but under the rock, and also be able to keep your super speed state. Follow the slope down, then transition right, and once the mountain slope goes up again, hold angle upright. Go under the large rock but above the small rock and enter the portal from the right side for a free quick warp. You can do a few things for this quick warp. You can menu buffer to the mirror here to ensure that you enter from either the bottom right of the portal or the right side. If you prefer to save your menu buffer for the next quick warp, simply walk to the right of the warp, tap A to cancel your spin speed, and hold left to walk into the warp. It's important to cancel your spin speed before walking in, as your movement pattern can cause you to miss the quick warp position altogether. After the portal transition, hold left and air pump down underneath the bush, and then air pump up to the mountain wall. Position Link at the top of the mountain outline to avoid the heart pickup in the light world. Also, the positioning for Link for the next quick warp, the visual cue is 1 dirt pixel shown on the right side of the screen. Now this could change depending on if your monitor or CRT TV cuts off any pixels on the outer edges. You might just have to play with that. It might be 1 pixel and then a dirt, but it really just depends on how your screen is shown. This portion is also a great place for the menu buffer. As shown in the video here, I save my mirror buffer to this part of the screen because this particular quick warp is a little bit more difficult to be in the exact position. Hold up to the mountain edge and then turn left, but then immediately go into an angle up left input and tap A. That will allow you to side hop off of the ledge. You can also just dash up off the ledge as the transition finishes as well. Walk above the big rock on your right side and dash right to the middle of the stairs to enter Hera. Double pump left and right all the way to the top. As you enter the dungeon, walk up and slash the crystal switch, hold left, and then air pump up towards the door and snap into it. Pumping here only saves 5 frames, so just hold angle up and left into straight left after the switch if pumping here negatively affects your movement. Hold left out of the door to cancel stair leg and continue for a few steps. Transition to angle down left for about 1 tile or air pump down. When Link is 1 tile away from the crystal switch, slash it, then move down and right to collect the key and then use the mirror. Be aware of the mini Moldorm as he can get in your way of the key. If you choose to do Boom Hera, take a step up and switch to the boom. Look for 1 light pixel below Link's shadow. Boom the switch and hold angle up left until Link is lined up with these small square tiles. Throw the boom to the right, move Link to the top left corner of the small square tiles, and then dash up. Cancel your dash with an angle up left input once you are at the top if the pathway is clear to enter the door. If the mini Moldorm ends up getting in your way at the top, you can hold your sword out to poke him or just slash twice to kill him to get him out of your way. This room has a few different strategies you can do. The first one shown is the diagonal boom, which is a little bit more difficult, but definitely a lot safer. If you do end up hitting the crystal switch by accident and not getting the right movement, you're gonna have to hit it another 2 times to fix it from there. That can waste quite a bit of time in between. So what you wanna do is hold left out of the door, dash down the slope, but cancel before you hit the wall. Lift up the top pot and throw it at the crystal switch. Line Link up with the corner of the 4th tile in and the 4th tile up. You will need to hit angle down left and Y and A all on the same frame, and then cancel your dash once you are on the pegs. For the downward boom, you will need to line Link up with the top of the 5th tile up from the switch. For this strategy, you will only need to hit down A and Y on the same frame, and then cancel the dash when Link is on the peg. So it is a little bit easier input wise, but if you end up booming down and not dashing right, it can negatively affect your time.
A few inches later.
Once the last tile appears, you can boom it and then immediately dash right through the door. Dash to the middle of the door pathway below and then menu buffer to the lamp. Once you're out of the menu, dash down out of the room. For the boomless Hera strats, walk up to slash the crystal switch, then walk left to slash the other one, and then dash straight up. Once you get towards the top, just use the same mechanics, getting into the doorway if you have a clear pathway, or holding your sword out and slashing the Moldorm if he gets in your way. For the boomless strat in the tile room, just grab one of the pots and throw it at the crystal switch, and then you can position Link at the bottom, and you can poke dash each tile. And then once you have 2 tiles left, you can just grab a pot on the right side, walk it to the door, and then toss the pot at the last remaining tile, and then head to the next room. For the boomless strats in this room, once Link is a few tiles below the crystal switch, menu buffer to the lamp to see the Moldorm RNG, just to make sure if you have a clear pathway to dash on the way down, or if you have to slash a Moldorm out of your way, or just simply walk down if he's going to get in your way but the bottom part of the path is clear. There is a great comparison shown here from boomless strats versus the boom strats, and as you can see towards the end of this comparison, it's really all not that different. The difference between the 2 strategies is about 30 frames or a half of a second. The big thing to note between these 2 strategies is if you are going for the optimal strat and you accidentally hit the crystal switch without being on the pegs or inside of them, you will need to re-hit the switch and then try again, losing the time that you would have gained by doing the boom strategy. Hold down out of the door, then transition to angle down left until you are in the space between the left torches. Light the bottom and top quickly, then dash right to light the top one and then the bottom one. Move left out of the torch space once you have all 4 lit, and then menu buffer to mirror. Open the big chest from the far right side and then mirror out. Move up to slash the first switch, and then begin to move right to slash the second. After you hit that second crystal switch, you can hold up and air pump right into the doorway. The Beetles room. Hold right out of the door to cancel stair leg, then transition to angle down right. Once you have a few pixels of space between Link and the middle beetle, hold down. When Link gets below the beetle, immediately slash left to be able to hit the beetle into the pit and the crystal switch at the bottom at the same time. Grab the bottom right pot and throw it left at the beetle if he is coming down with fast RNG on that side. Grab the next pot and move left to grab the bomb. You don't actually need to move down to pick it up. Make sure that you walk along the edge of the pit while Link is holding the pot to speed up his movement, and then kill the last beetle with that. If the top right beetle has slow RNG and kind of stays towards the top or the right side, you can throw the right pot on the right side of the switch to kill him. For a safe strat, you can slash the top right beetle from above him down into the pit. Slash the middle beetle left into the pit, and then hit the switch, grab the bomb from the bottom left pot, and then kill the last beetle with it. Hold angle up left out of the door until you're above the star switch. Then transition left into angle up left until you hit the right divider. You can also hold left and air pump up here if you are comfortable with it. Move up and then enter the door cleanly. Hold angle up right out of the door to the wall and then pump right against it. Make your way around the divider to the corner of the pit and hold angle down right to get by it and then right through the blue block. You can hit down to get underneath the pit and then right, but it is a lot faster to cut that corner with an angled input. Move down to the wall, turn right and dash to line up with the door, then either dash or walk up. Walking up only loses about 4 frames. If you are low on hearts, you can slash the crystal switch to the left of the door as you make your way out. Everyone's favorite room in Hera, the petting zoo. Hold straight left out of the door to cancel stair leg, or you can just hold angle down left and then just go immediately into a dash downward. Cancel the dash with an angle down left input right at the pots on the bottom, and then slide all the way left to pick up the left pot. Try to hit one of the mini Moldorms when throwing the pot if possible. You may need to slash in the petting zoo area if the mini Moldorms get in your way. Optimally, you want to grab the top pot, but if you need a heart, there is one in the bottom pot. For the early bomb jump, after clearing the pots on the left, you want to menu to bombs. After you get out of the menu, immediately place the bomb down, take a step or so up and to the left, and then as you're getting toward the top half of the bomb, pick it up, and then move in between the torch and the star tile. At the top of the statue, move left briefly, then back to angle up left. Hold this input until you throw the bomb at the left part of the wall. Then you want to face up and immediately pause buffer to the bow to stop Link's movement. While in the pause menu, the visual cue is if the bottom of the green item menu line is lined up exactly with the second line up on the right divider, or 1 pixel above, you will have a good bomb jump. During your menu buffer to the bow, if you see that the visual cue is lower than where it needs to be, you can dash buffer up, which is actually safer because the bomb will end up exploding during the dash animation, which takes several frames. You can also sword buffer up if you are more comfortable with that strategy. Grab the moon pearl and dash down, canceling with an angle down left input right at the statue. Moving down and left in between the left torch and the star tile, and then pick up the middle pot to grab the bomb. Dash up and then dash left, and then lastly dash up again through the door as long as you have clear RNG all the way through. Sword spin bomb jump. The sword spin bomb jump is another technique that you can utilize, and what you do here is line up with the bottom of the statue but clear of the right rail and place a bomb above Link, and then slash your sword and begin to hold it. Once Link's sword is fully charged, move to the edge of the pit, hold down, and once you see the slipping animation, then you want to release your spin. By doing this technique, this will always place Link at the final pixel of the edge of a pit. The bonk jump is a pretty safe technique as well. To do this one, basically it's the same bomb placement as the last strategy. What you want to do is hold angle up left from the planting of the bomb, and then as Link is against the left part of the wall, you can sword buffer up a few pixels if necessary, just to readjust Link to where he needs to be. And then as soon as the bomb begins to blink, you want to start your dash and then turn left, which will be perfect for the bomb timing, and also it will allow you to bonk into the left part of the wall. What's nice about the bonk jump is it actually opens up the range of pixels for the jump itself, all the way from 2 pixels to making it 6 pixels, which makes it far easier and a lot safer. If you see at least 2 light pixels below Link, you actually don't need to bonk. You can just line Link up with the right part of the wall, which is going to be right above the bomb, and you are safe to get blasted over toward the chest without having to bonk. You can also use a quick dash turn and place the bomb below Link, but be aware that you absolutely need to be 1 or 2 pixels from the edge, or else you need to face left and bonk against the wall. Also, if you get fire RNG on the way out at the top, you can clip into the rail to get past it. Either walk left into the rail, then holding angle up left all the way through past the fire, or use the same inputs by holding Link's sword out. If you are blocked by the lower fire or double fire, which is really bad RNG, you will need to walk through it taking damage if you have health to spare. If not, you will need to wait it out. If you notice the bottom Kadongo is shooting fire to the right at the bomb pot, you can actually pick it up from the right side, walk around the pots, and as you dash up, you will collect the bomb. During your final dash left, if the enemy starts the fire animation, you can turn to the right, start your dash, and then bonk into the right wall, which will put Link over all the fire, and then you can just make your way out cleanly. The bumper skip room. Hold right out of the door to cancel stair leg, and then hold down. Line Link up with the top right corner edge of the pit on the left side. Dash and then turn right to perform the bumper skip. Now with this skip, there is a 4 pixel window between the edge of the pit and the bumper itself. If you end up dashing right to perform the bumper skip and you hit the bumper or you start slipping off the pit, you can hold away from the edge of the pit if you're quick enough, and you can actually readjust Link's position from that point. Cancel your dash when Link is lined up with the door and then walk up. If you hit the switch a few rooms before this, due to being low on hearts, all of the pots below will contain health. Hold left out of the door and immediately go into a dash. You could also hold angle down left and dash immediately. Once you are below the rail, dash left until you are clear of the next rail. At this point, you can either side hop off the ledge or just dash off. You do need to be careful though, because if Moldorm is on the lower side or headed toward the middle and you do a side hop, you can get hit by him. Moldorm's head is the only thing in this fight that can damage you. You are only able to damage Moldorm when his tail is exposed. The tail will always follow the head, so lining up behind Moldorm is a fantastic strategy. If Moldorm is on an edge or close to an edge, his movement becomes very unpredictable, as he can bounce in different directions, so you have to be very careful. You are able to hold your sword out and hold away from an edge, and Moldorm will not knock you down in the pit. You can also hold your sword out and poke his tail as you follow him. Using dashes is a great strategy, especially if Moldorm is close to an edge, or he's close to the middle pit, or especially if he is on the last phase where his movement is sped up. If using a dash, try to offset Link with the middle of Moldorm's head. It'll be a little bit safer. Also try to avoid dashing north or south through Moldorm, as this does get you hit by him more often. You are also able to release sword spins to hit his tail if he moves away from you, or for instance he's on the left side of the middle pit and you are unable to move up toward him. You are also able to release your spin there and hit him, especially if he's bouncing back and forth. For the pendant catch, make sure you get a faster catch by lining Link up slightly below the pendant shadow.